Hooray! We are live from Vegas, from the MGM. Look, Sean.
Fucking sweet. Look
That's
at that.
that's
Look at
gonna
that
be
paradise.
that's gonna be Dave Fogarty and Peter Fogarty's bed.
Look at that undressed bed over there. Look at that.
Oh, beautiful! And this one's mine.
Sweet.
So we're here. What time is it in Ireland?
It's 6:15 a.m.
Okay, so I've been awake 24 hours,
Nice.
excluding like hour or 2 hours sleep on planes.
Yeah.
But look, I don't want to be over dramatic. You know that's not my style.
No, it's not indeed. You're doing well now.
This was one of the worst days of my life of traveling.
Really? Why?
American Airlines are the equivalent. Actually, they make Ryanair look like Etihad, like something like literally. So my plane over was American Airlines.
Yeah.
Not so bad. I thought grand. I slept last night for once before my flight. I'll chill out. I'll watch something on my little portable television in front of me. Stick the phone in the charger. You know yourself. The usual things that you expect on a cross-continental fucking flight. Instead, 3 televisions that everyone could watch, like a bus from the 90s that you'd used to go on a school tour. No plug sockets. Nothing like that. Complimentary cans of Coke. That's okay. I can get behind that. But both flights I had nobody sitting beside me, so I was at the window. But I had a dickhead in front of me both times that pushed the seat back.
Ah, fuck that.
Such as this, right?
Like that.
Now, look, this sounds all well and good, but it gets worse, Sean. It gets worse.
Go on.
Land in Philadelphia, Brian Friel, Philadelphia, here I come. Do you like that reference?
Yeah, go on.
There we go. Get on the plane, I was sitting out in the lounge area. It was going to be the last on the plane so we can get ahead and get to Vegas and I can fall asleep. 2 hours later, the pilot informs us we will now be taking off.
Oh, fuck that.
Because there was something wrong with the left phalange.
Mm-hmm.
And it was on the left side. It was on the engine. And then he reassured us by saying, oh, this has happened before. They'll be able to fix it. So at this stage, I'm like, all right, I'd like to get off this plane, please, and not travel to Vegas. But 2 hours later, we take off. And then I think, happy days, the guy in front of me is sitting on the aisle. So I'm like, I can put my knees up against this chair. I can go to sleep. But doesn't the useless bastard move in against the window seat right before we take off?
Why didn't you move out?
What?
You should have moved out to the other seat.
No, because there was already a guy at the aisle, and if I had moved from the window to sit in the middle beside him, that would have probably looked really weird.
Yeah, that would have been weird, all right.
Aside from that, got here okay. Everything's going fine. Hop in the taxi with lads from the airport. PJ, Irish_Buchel, fan of the podcast. Share a taxi to the MGM. They go off to the Luxor. I'm standing in the queue for the MGM, and then I realize, oh wait, where's my laptop? Gone.
You're some bollocks, aren't you?
Left it in the car. Literally left it in the car. Queuing up, get up to the top of the MGM. Sorry, your booking has been cancelled. I just looked at your woman. I was like, what? The credit, since I booked this room in July, since then, my debit card has been missing, and I've got a new one.
Oh, fuck.
So it was booked under that. So I had both cards because it wasn't actually missing. I just lost it and my mom found it. I had both cards and explained it to her. She reinstated the booking and I paid for it in full in cash. Dave Fogarty, Peter Fogarty, if you're living, bring that cash with you, lads, because I am broke until you get here. Right? So aside from that, got the laptop back, met John Gooden downstairs, bumped into a few Irish people. John Danaher as well, completely fanboyed. Henzo Gracie, man. And there I am standing in a Marcelo Garcia Jiu-Jitsu Academy t-shirt, their biggest rival from New York.
Oh.
So that I went up to Matt Sarah. I was like, sorry, I know you always get the pictures, but would you mind taking one of me and John? And he was like, yeah, no bother.
Sure, man, sure.
Sure, no bother. I should have told John Danaher that I was great friends with Henzo Gracie from my time in Bahrain.
Oh yeah.
You know, me and Henzo. So then I bought a $5 can of Red Bull to get us through this podcast.
Sweet.
And that's about all that's happened. Also, I didn't eat any food on the planes because airplane food is the devil's invention.
I haven't been on an airplane in about 11 years.
Like literally every time I smell airplane food, no matter what it is, I just remember my flight home from Brazil when I got this weird chicken and I spent my entire second flight from France to Dublin puking in the bathroom.
That was rat or something, definitely. 100%.
Rat. No, look. The team of the week, Sean. The Brazilian rats. He's here. Aldo's here.
Do you hear anything? What are the rumours going around? How injured is he? When's he pulling out? When's McGregor pulling out? What's the crack?
Fights off. That's
Fights
like
off, is it?
if you're listening to this in the airport, you're coming because this will be out in the morning. If you're listening to us before your flight, just ask the pilot to turn it around.
Yeah.
Come back home.
Going home.
Because you don't want to be in the MGM at the minute anyway. It looks like Crossmaglen, Cullyhanna, Armagh, all of the border region areas have infiltrated the MGM.
Flooded, is it?
Oh my God, the amount of hillbillies walking around the place.
Oh, the rodeo thing is on.
Like, yeah, and not even that. Prostitution business in Vegas, I've already seen, has taken a massive spike because it's full of cowboys walking around with flared shirts, check shirts as well, no less. Big white cowboy hats, walking arm in arm with the prostitutes.
Do you know prostitution isn't actually legal in Las Vegas?
It's just frowned upon.
No, it's not. It's not. What's the word? Yeah, it's not legal. It's legal in Nevada and some places, but it's not legal in Las Vegas. It's legal. Like there's this place like 30 miles outside Las Vegas where it's legal, but not in Vegas itself. So like all the prostitutes in Las Vegas are like not clean and are like could have HIV and all. So don't sleep with prostitutes who are in Vegas. Everyone go to that place like 30 miles outside of it.
Why? Where they're clean? Like it's like them safe injection centers that they're looking to open up in Dublin.
That place where your man Richard Hunter, who'll probably be there this week, was Lamar Odom was found. Do you remember that?
Oh, the media guy.
Yeah,
that was mad.
Can't
wait to see him tomorrow. That'll be pretty funny.
Ask him to see if any lady friend you can. What's the word I'm looking for? We'll just move on from that. Okay.
Yeah, let's.
Well, okay.
Sean, you're trying to get me in trouble here.
You deserve it, in fairness. You do deserve it. Right, we talk about the fight.
Before we do,
go on.
Everyone listening to this should give Sean Sheehan a massive round of applause of appreciation. It's 6 o'clock in the morning in Ireland here. The man is deranged as they come. Oh, wait a minute. Let me just go back to you. Oh, Sean, speak so people can see your shirt.
SevereMMA podcast. Can you see it? I can't see myself. Best shirt
Beautiful.
Ever.
So it's 6 o'clock in the morning. We appreciate the dedication immensely. I should be out getting wings and Hooters. But
I love a few wings now, even though it's 6 o'clock in the morning.
breakfast wings.
Yeah, of course. Best sort of wings.
So, why am I in Vegas again?
How pumped?
The rodeo, Sean. That's why I'm here.
It is going to be a rodeo with all the fucking fights and all the media events and all the wins and everything this week.
Do you know what the worst part of it is? I have to get up tomorrow morning and go and buy a tripod.
Why? Where's your tripod?
In Dave Fogarty's car, and he's bringing it over with him. But most of the interviews are tomorrow morning.
When's Dave coming?
Dave is coming tomorrow afternoon.
All right. Jesus. You could fashion one out of something there and make one.
I should make Graham just hold it.
Yeah, do. Yeah, be grand.
Freehand.
How pumped are you? I was sitting there yesterday and I was like, I can't wait. I just can't wait. I just need this fight to happen right now. Are you like that as well? Or are you biding your time?
I think tomorrow I'll be a little bit more festive. Yeah. I think it's just considering how pissed off I am at the universe over the last 24 hours.
Fair.
And once I saw the Welcome to Las Vegas sign, that just changed everything. I was ready. I was like, oh yes, finally, no more planes, no more travel. And because I deliberately went out of my way to get a picture of the Welcome to Las Vegas sign, I ended up going to the wrong terminal for my bags and had to get a shuttle bus 10 minutes over to Terminal 1 to get my bag. But look, everything that's gone wrong has gone wrong, and I'm still here standing. I am ready to take Vegas on tomorrow. The fight, like even now talking about it, seeing all the banners up in the MGM, all the McGregor stuff, Aldo versus McGregor, not McGregor versus Mendes. Oh, fantastic.
Madness. I actually can't wait. It's just going to be unbelievable. And it's building now nicely. Like I was on with the mayor earlier yesterday, and he asked me like about like the perception of McGregor at the moment. And I think it's kind of turned a bit where he's kind of almost all good now. I think like that time in the house kind of suited him, and the time away from the cameras, he didn't really say much on the conference call this weekend. I think it's building into like it could be a big moment for the country, obviously, if he wins. But I think there's a lot of people, like, I don't know if there's people asking you, but I've been asked like loads of times by people like, where can I watch the fight the weekend? Like, I think it's building into something really big in Ireland, and like for us, obviously, it's fucking mad anticipation, but I think for other people it is as well.
I just hope, like, I was sitting today, I was like, my one hope from Conor McGregor's success, or Irish MMA's success in general, is that some airline plucks up the courage to do a Dublin to Las Vegas direct flight. That would be the dream.
I thought you were going to say that I hope someone gives you loads of money for doing interviews at MMA.
That's second priority. Direct flight is number one.
I'll take some of that money too. But look, it's unbelievable. Aldo has arrived in.
Aldo's here. I saw a couple of people already have a couple of fans of selfies up with him on Facebook. That was going through my timeline, and it was like, so he's here. He's alive. I know he did an interview earlier on with Megan O'Leary as well. So, what can go wrong, Sean? I'll let you know though. If you want, I'll bring you in. There is one way Jose Aldo loses. Doesn't make this fight.
How's that?
I'm transporting you.
Your wife is going to fucking click off now like the last time.
No, it won't. I'm not in Scotland. Look at them tiles. They are
treacherous.
Look, he could just hop out of it. Okay, showers here, right? This is Jose coming out. Yeah. Hello, oh, and then speaking. Gone.
Get down the ground. Get down the ground. Show us the angle. Come on.
Gone.
Hold on, we have to at the buffer. This is a bad angle. This is a bad angle. I don't like this.
What, for me? Like,
yeah.
Look, this is Jose. I'm on the floor. My leg is broken. Here's the toilet. He has to climb up off the toilet. Ring the UFC. Ring the UFC. It's gonna happen.
Could happen. Have you been watching any of the embeddeds? Did you see McGregor was?
That is how long I've been traveling. I missed two embeddeds. Two embeddeds have been posted since I last left Dublin.
On one of them, McGregor was with this movement coach guy he has, and he was.
Was that the first one?
That was embedded number 2, I think.
Was it the ones when he was punching the candles out?
Punching the candles, yeah.
That was on number 1.
I was like, what the fuck is he doing? He's going to punch the table. He's going to break his fucking hand. He's going to be out of the fight. And then another one, he'd been walking along these really fucking tight beams with like a fall down one side. I was like, what the fuck is he doing? He's going to like jump off this and break his ankle and the fight's going to be over. He needs to get rid of that lad. That's what I think anyway.
No, you see it like...
sack that lad. Throw him out.
I know that we don't like other podcasts, obviously. No. And your man is a bit of a Joe... He tries to be a bit of a Joe Rogan, but the guy that does London Real, he had Ido Portal on a while ago, and Ido was talking about Conor and stuff like that, and listening to him, like, he said something that I think would, he made a lot of sense without maybe realizing he made a great fight analysis. He said that Conor is always in your space. He said, like, he called it some sort of buffer range between him feeling comfortable and then instantly feeling in danger. And he's like, Conor always has a person feeling in danger and is in range. He said, you see a lot of the movement stuff that they're doing when Conor follows Gunny is that he's always touching him. Yeah. Did you notice that, the way that you're always touching? Now, looking from the outside, maybe that's so that you're always within range of striking someone, about being able to manage the distance. I know.
This fella? Is he a fighter, or is he like, what is he?
No, he's just a movement guy. Like, he just flows. I would love to get to talk to him over here. He does seem like a really, really interesting guy. But some of the stuff that you see that he's doing, I think it's Like, I know we'll get to it later on. There is a question: is it a touch of Steven Seagal about it? I don't think so. I don't think this guy is anything to do. Like, Steven Seagal was there to promote himself. Aido Portal's Twitter page is private. He only has 20-something followers. He's only tweeted twice. He's big for his movement videos, but he doesn't seem like a superstar sort of guy like Steven Seagal wants to be. I can see him. I can see this being a massive, massive change for Conor. And you have to look at it as well. With like Conor's injury in the last fight, I think that's something that has been overstated because we're assuming he hasn't gotten surgery since then. So he has done natural thing like strengthening the muscle around the knee.
Well, he got those stem cell injections.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for completely making my point irrelevant, but I'm still going to make it anyway.
But do you really think the injury was understated or overstated?
No,
I think it was understated.
That's what I meant, understated, because he could have pulled out with it being so bad, and there was talk that he could have needed surgery. And that's why your man, his masseuse, Dr. Payne, would always put up when he was sharing stuff on Facebook, like, can fix any injury without surgery. That was one of his taglines for why people should go to him. So he, I see a lot of people in fitness and a lot of people in health, and like if you have something wrong with your knee, generally it's somewhere else that's causing the impingement. It's a weakness or a deficiency in somewhere else. So I've got an issue with my knee at the minute, and the guy said it's because my hips are fucked. My hips and my lower back are very strung up. So I've been given loads of stretches to do, and I think that Conor has brought Aido in not for his movement is going to win me the fight. I think it's to keep his body in the best shape possible, as loose as possible, as free as possible, so that there are no hinges or any other ailments that could affect or weaken his knee. That would be my complete belief of it.
Yeah, I'd say you're probably right. I'd say you're probably right in that. What do you think about the talk coming into this fight? There hasn't been much talk. Like, I'm not a big one for the talk affecting guys coming in, but we saw Aldo in the embeddeds there. He was kind of, he was talking about like, he's going to change McGregor's path, and like I didn't say he's going to end his career, but he was kind of, saying things like that. Do you think, are you one that buys into this talk thing? Do you think it's going to affect Aldo, or do you think it's not going to matter a jot once it starts?
I think like Brazilians themselves, like my coach is Brazilian, they are passionate people. They're nutcases as well. Like every Brazilian that I met in Brazil was a certified lunatic. And isn't there something in their genes or something that just makes them love riding?
Somebody needs to take that clip out. That's the best thing ever.
No, like they're
in their genes or something that's love.
There is something in Brazilians that just makes them fucking crazy. There is. I'm telling you now. I'm not making this up. I'm going to Google it.
I believe you.
Brazilians love riding. Okay, while that's loading, no, it's just about fucking cowboys bull riding. Anyway, Jesus, Sean, I'm far too tired. Go back to what you were saying there. Will it affect Aldo?
Yeah, I don't think it will.
I can see him getting face to face with Conor. I can see Conor doing the same sort of thing in the Mendes fight, like when he was doing that sort of thing, and I can see that really pissing off Aldo. I haven't got to watch it yet, but Roberto Reed sent me a video earlier on about Aldo's sparring partner, Andy Sour, whatever. He thinks Aldo will retire, win or lose on Saturday.
Yeah, I heard a few people saying that. Like, I don't know, that's just talk, really. Like, it doesn't really make a difference. But although I suppose if you're talking mentally, maybe it could if he's thinking about retirement. Saw Carl Pendred saying it there, like, and a lot of people have said it before. If you think about
Aldo influenced by Carl Pendred to retire from MMA.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying Carl Pendred said if you speak about retirement, you've already kind of one foot out the door. And Aldo has spoken about retirement, and obviously if he said it to Andy Sour, he's probably not going to lie. So
the UFC The UFC, like Dana White always says that. If you're thinking about retirement, then stop.
Yeah.
But he said it a little bit bitterly, I think, recently when Misha was like, I'll probably just retire since the UFC are going to go back and everything they said. So Dana was like, well then, girl, you should retire if you're thinking about it. You know, he got to use his cliche line of, if you're thinking about retirement, then do it. But it was pretty much like, right, Misha, fuck away off then and retire if you want.
Let's talk about the fight, though.
Do we have to?
Yeah. I've spoken enough about this fight. You tell me, how do you think it's going to go? What do you think is going to happen? The styles. Tell us break this fight down for us, Andrew. Come on, let's do it.
I will, but you've asked for the YouTube link,
yes,
so I'm going to send that to you now.
Send that to me because I don't know how long we've gone. I don't want to know. Come on. Okay.
There you go. I've also done something here so that it's... I'm going to have to keep switching between our pictures when we talk, but that's okay. For you, Sean, anything?
Oh, there's no time. It doesn't show the time on this, but you know how much time has gone anyway, do you?
I think we've been recording... I don't know. Throw up your WhatsApp there and then see when I last texted you.
Oh, hold on. The time is actually on this. Never mind. Okay, we've 21 minutes. Excellent.
We've got 40 or so to go. This fight, I think, is going to live up to everything that everyone's been talking about. Robin Black did an unbelievable... I know a lot of people aren't... He's not their cup of tea. What's your thoughts of him?
I like him, yeah. I don't think... Yeah.
Go on.
Good. Yeah. I don't think he's the best in the world, but he's very good.
He posted his video the other day, or the UFC posted their video of him doing the breakdown. And I think he's right in saying what it's going to come down to is just a boxing match. Look at that Sean Sheehan grimace.
I don't think you could be further from wrong there. I don't think that's going to be the case. If McGregor gets into a boxing match, I think he'll lose. He doesn't want to do that. McGregor wants a kicking match, really. He wants to kick from the outside. He wants to kick high. He wants to stand like in a range outside of Aldo's leg kicks and outside of where Aldo can stand in the pocket with his Muay Thai stance and just like hit him with jabs and hit him straight down the middle. And the most important thing you want to stop is Aldo's blitzes because that's where he hurts guys the most. And against McGregor, who'll be trying to push him back, Aldo will want to be doing the same to him. Like he'll want to throw in loads of those blitzes to get him back. And it's tough. You know, do you remember McGregor before the Chad Mendes fight? He said, "Let's see who's the first to take a backward step." And I think he could say a similar sort of thing to McGregor or to Aldo. I think that's huge. If Aldo can get McGregor on the back foot, he could definitely win the fight, I think. And I think the same goes the other way.
But if Conor gets Aldo on the back foot, that's, in my opinion, where Aldo is most dangerous because he has, more often than not, thrown caution to the wind, fuck this. And whenever he gets put on the back foot, that's when he powers forward. Yeah, and that's when he will throw a flurry. And that's where I think, that's where I can see it coming into point of view from the hands. In Robin Black's preview, he said Conor's left is one of the deadliest strikes. It's going to land no matter what, and Aldo, it will land. He's big enough. He has the range. He has the timing down. I can see him tagging Aldo many times with lefts. But Conor has been caught with right counters in every single fight pretty much. And then he just complemented that point by showing videos of Aldo blitzing people with rights from countering on the left. I know someone spoke about it pretty. I think you were asking if he had fought a southpaw before. Florian was the southpaw. I know people are talking about leg kicks, but fighting the southpaw, Aldo's lead leg kick now won't be attacking the thigh that battered every other fighter, that knocked Uriah Faber off his feet, that put Frankie Edgar down in the 4th and 5th rounds every time he touched it. It's going to be the inside of Conor's leg. Yeah. And that's not saying it's hitting the inside meaty part so it won't hurt. It's still going to be effective. It's still going to be a strong strike. I just think that people are completely overstating how powerful Aldo's leg kicks are going to be against a striker. Not only that moves as well as Conor, not only that has as good as footwork as Conor, but a fighter that switches stances as seamlessly as Conor. I can see Aldo maybe swinging and missing a couple of those times. Conor moving back and then coming forward with a left. I don't know why I'm moving, but I'm doing it anyway.
Okay, there's a lot. You said a lot there. Let me talk about,
for once,
the southpaw thing first. And if I don't talk about leg kicks, tell me to come back to them because I really want to talk about that. after I said that, that was when I was looking up my fights to write my preview and stuff. So I went back and I watched the Florian fight. I went and watched the Jonathan Brookins fight, Southpaw, right? Against Kenny Florian, who's a similar kind of size to McGregor, and he fights in a similar sort of stance, except he fights in a different sort of way. But Aldo struggled to break down the distance between, like, the natural difference in distance between a southpaw and an orthodox. They're kind of both standing, you know, side by side. Whereas orthodox, you kind of just punch straight and that's it. Southpaw, when you're southpaw against orthodox, you have to break down, you know, the additional angle to get there. And he struggled early to do that. And Kenny Florian was having a little bit of success. He threw a few kicks, Florian did, and they were kind of pushing Aldo back a bit. But the thing about Florian is he's not McGregor. He wanted to wrestle Aldo. He wanted to get Aldo down. So we didn't really see too much of it. And that ended quickly because Aldo eventually did push him back then and stuff. He took him down. He started hurting him. So there's that. Aldo, as you said, his blitzes forward are his best thing. McGregor, though, used to be a counterpuncher. That was always his best thing. You saw against Ivan Buchinger, the knockout, against Markin Brimage, the knockout off of the back foot. McGregor can do that as well, and he can knock people out from there. So Aldo will have to take that into account. And when he's putting himself into the blitzes, that's very, very dangerous for McGregor, and it's very dangerous for Aldo because it's McGregor's strongest point attacking, and it's McGregor's weakest point defending. So he's going to take shots, and he's going to give them.
I know you want to talk about leg kicks, but let me just jump in here. Connor's, as you said, in my opinion, one of his most effective attributes, his counter striking ability. We saw throughout the earlier part of his career, and then he come up against someone like Max Holloway, who is a similar fighter, and I think we've seen the evolution of Connor's game since then.
100%.
Now, like, if you even take an example, I know it's a horrible example, but I'm still going to use it. When Connor fought the Mountain, right?
Okay,
why are you doing that?
Go on.
Look how good he was at getting out of tight cornered situations. Aldo will blitz Connor, and those same skills, movements, timing that Connor's been working on since the Holloway fight. In my opinion, that's when we started seeing Connor doing more of his, you know, the sort of in and out moving things. That's going to I think his evasiveness out of those flurries, out of the clusterfuck of strikes that Aldo will throw at him, are going to be Connor's keys to winning the fight. Yeah,
I think he'll need to put the combination of the pressure fighter and the counter fighter together to win this fight, because Aldo is that good, because Aldo can fight everywhere. The thing about Aldo, watching back all his old fights, he stays in the stance all the time. Or should I say it like this? He doesn't get out of his stance through thick and thin. If people try to take him down, people try to kick him, if people try to punch him, he stays in the same stance all the time. What McGregor has to do is to get him out of that. He has to not let Aldo get into the pocket where he can box with him, where he can throw his straight right hand, where he can throw his leg kicks. And let's talk about the leg kicks. As you said, I think they're hugely overstated, these leg kicks. Look, Aldo has hurt guys badly with leg kicks in the past, and if he can get him going again, obviously there'll be a huge factor. But you could say the same about McGregor's left hand. You could say the same about Aldo's right hand. You could say the same about high kicks. Like, they're just another part of it. They're not something they're not some X factor. I don't think they are. His kicks, if the fight goes longer, they could be an X factor, definitely. But I think people are slightly overstating it. Aldo, as I said with McGregor fighting off the back foot, it's both his strongest part of his game attacking and the weakest part defensive. I think the leg kicks are the same for Aldo. Kenny Florian fight, he countered him from the leg kicks. Chad Mendes fight, he countered him with left hooks from the leg kicks in their second fight. And he kept doing it for the first round, and then Aldo stopped leg kicking. The Frankie Edgar fight especially, Edgar took him down. Every time he threw a leg kick, Edgar took him down. You saw McGregor last week. He said it in an interview, and I'm not sure which one it was. It was Jimmy Kimmel, I think. Maybe. But he said in one of the leg kicks anyway. He said, maybe I'll give him the leg. Maybe I'll give him the leg and I'll counter it.
Yeah, maybe he has a counter that.
He's 100% going to counter that leg kick because he knows it's coming. He knows it's coming, and he's being prepared for it. And if
do you know what I think?
Good enough, it could be his weak link.
I think the counter is going to be something that he's been working on with Ido or in the last while. I think it's going to be some sort of hook, sweep, some sort of counter to just take Aldo completely off his balance, like attacking, maybe throwing a kick of his own to take Aldo off balance completely on his other leg.
He's very good at checking leg kicks as well. He broke a guy on the local scene, didn't he? He broke his leg with a check, and he broke Max Holloway's foot, I believe, as well with a check of a leg kick. So McGregor can do that. Like he's going
to do a Weidman.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if that happened, if Aldo like smashed his leg like that. But look, I hope that doesn't happen. That'd be a fucking terrible way for the fight. Aldo could injure his knee.
Before we go on to a few other aspects of the fight, the one aspect that nobody's talking about, the ground. Is it going to happen? John Kavanagh is pretty adamant that Jose Aldo will turn into a wrestler, etc., after he feels Conor's power. What's your thoughts on that? How do you think the matchup on the ground? What happens if it goes to the ground? I think people will write Conor off very easily because of the Mendes fight, completely ignoring the fact, like even if people have facts in front of them, in order to make their point, they'll just completely ignore it. So it's like Conor got taken down by a wrestler. Conor couldn't wrestle for weeks leading up to that fight. The first time Conor was able to fully wrestle was in that fight. Do you know? Like I do think that's, people aren't giving him enough credit for his performance against Mendes and the fact that he did it effectively on one leg.
Yeah, I agree totally. There's a couple of things in that. With the takedowns, I don't think McGregor is half as bad at wrestling as he showed in the Mendes fight, but there's definitely some deficiencies there. Mendes took him down, and everyone saw it. Aldo saw it. And if Aldo didn't attack wrestling, he'd be fucking stupid. And this thing about, he's going to dive for a leg. This is MMA. This is not boxing. This is not kickboxing. If he goes for a leg, he's right to go for a leg to take someone down. This is MMA. Right, so this kind of, he's a pussy if he goes for, fuck that shit. This is MMA. Like, come on, Aldo would be stupid if he didn't try to take him down. Maybe not from the very start, but into the second round, you know, as the fight goes on, because Aldo struggled in the past with cardio, and he struggled in one fight in the past with cardio, and he hasn't struggled in other fights. But if McGregor,
what fight?
The Mark Hominick fight where he...
All right, good. That's what I was going to say. I thought you were thinking of another one.
Yeah, but if McGregor can push a pace in him, anyone would struggle with cardio going into the fourth and fifth rounds if he gets pushed back like that. So that could be an issue, and that could be something for him, you know, to work in the takedowns, to take McGregor down, to save his cardio. If he's getting tired, definitely could be a thing. On the ground, I don't think McGregor is as bad as people make out, but Aldo should have a big advantage.
I want to see a full round of this fight on the ground. I want to see what Conor's jiu-jitsu holds up to Aldo. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone's talking, like, I do think that when you get to the higher levels of jiu-jitsu, I do think a good brown belt is able to negate a black belt. Do you know what I mean? That it wouldn't be as clear cut, like, he's gonna get tapped, no problem, and blah blah blah. Like, Aldo beat Cobrinha, who's one of the best grapplers ever. He beat him at brown belt when he was younger, like when the two of them were brown belts. Yeah. That is a ridiculous achievement in itself. But I was actually the last time I was here in Vegas when I was competing at that tournament. Darragh O'Connell was over here as well, and he said, if you put Conor and McGee against brown belts his level and his weight at the World Championships, probably he gets eaten up, but does pretty well. If you put Conor in the same tournament, no gi, then there's a very, very good chance that he wins it. That's how highly Darragh O'Connell rates his grappling. And that Darragh would have trained with Conor for years and years in SPG. Like, I'm not too sure if he said it now. I don't want to say that he'd win it, but he said that he would definitely, he'd go in and he'd take scalps, and he'd go in and he'd be very competitive. So, like, I really want to see it. I want to see Conor off his back, because he's so dangerous off his back. We saw in the Mendes, he's the Neil Seary of the 145-pound division. You know, he has no problem baiting elbows off his back.
Yeah, he threw in a few elbows, but he didn't look like, you know, he wasn't attacking with submissions. Or his guard didn't look that
active. I know, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to know how much of an effect his leg had on him in that way, in the fact as well. If you're on your back, if you're on guard, like, I was going to try to get my legs up and show you, but I'm too stiff. If you're lying in closed guard like this, and your knee, which is my elbow, is the issue, you're not going to be able to, like, throw this foot all over the place to either retain your guard or throw up submissions, because you don't know how strong the hinge is on your knee. Do you know what I mean? You don't know how safe that's going to be. So this is, I don't think the question is ever going to be what if, or from anymore will be what if Conor McGregor fights this person. It's how healthy is Conor McGregor? How many times have we seen anywhere near a full potential Conor McGregor in the UFC yet? I don't think there's been too many instances. I think the Dennis Seaver and the first round of the Max Holloway fight are the two closest occasions that you will see to Conor McGregor being fully fit.
I think Poirier fight, he looked good as well, even though he had a few niggles. But I think he looked pretty good in that. Just a couple more things on the ground game. Aldo isn't really a guy who'll like stay in your guard and hold you down like Chad Mendes, like Chad Mendes did to McGregor. He's a guy who'll push you against the fence, all right, trying to take you down and hold you there while he tries to get you to the floor. He did that against the Korean Zombie. He's a guy who'll use his trips. You know, I love the trips. He did it against Ricardo Lamas. But in fights, he doesn't stay in the guard. He tries to pass the guard, tries to get into half guard, side control, into a mount, and tries to do damage. Like we speak about Aldo, he used to be this real attacking fighter on the feet. We saw the double flying knee to Cub Swanson, but he kind of calmed down and he became more of a decision guy who was still exciting but winning decisions. On the ground, I still think he has that attacking nature, and I don't really think that's going to change. I don't think he's going to try to hold McGregor down. I think he'll probably try to attack him if he gets him down and attack for submissions. But like, he isn't some great submission artist. I think he's only 2 submissions in his MMA career. If I'm not wrong, hold on.
And Conor has 2 submission losses.
Yeah, and Conor has 1 submission win. So there you go. Like, he could, if he takes him down, I'd say he'd have a chance of submitting him. But like, I haven't seen McGregor's jiu-jitsu game much. I know you've probably seen a little bit more of it than me, and you've heard people talking about it. But I don't know. Most people don't know. So we'll just have to wait and see. Like, he could take him down, and this could look like Damian Maia against Neil Magny, and he could absolutely just kill him and submit him easily. We don't know until we see it, and it could happen. It's definitely.
I'm excited now.
Me too. But how do you think it will go?
Genuinely, hand on heart.
Aldo.
Jose Aldo. Goodbye, everyone. You missed it. I went to put my laptop screen down when I said that. Awesome. I'll do it again. Look at me. Jose Aldo. Goodbye, everyone. Genuinely, looking at it from a stylistic point of view, I think that Conor McGregor is in for the absolute toughest test of his career this Saturday night. And I don't really want to believe all of the first round stuff because I want to see a classic. I know that sounds bad. It'd be great if Conor went in, and it'd be great for every fighter if they were able to go in and win in 60 seconds and knock their opponent out and get out with little damage. But there's a part of me that really wants to see Conor be in a war. Like an absolute 4, not even a 5-round, a 4-round war that he ends up finishing Aldo. I can see the two of them covered in blood, exchanging strikes, Conor being shocked at how tough Aldo is. Aldo maybe this could be the first time we ever see Conor McGregor rocked in the UFC. Like there's a possibility of that happening. Like, I don't know. I am going to pick Conor. I do think Conor's going to win. Whether he is going to finish Aldo or not, I'm not too sure. But you look like you're gearing up to say something different. No,
I think McGregor will win. As you know, in the past, I was picking Aldo before, but I think that Mendes fight just changed everything. Like, McGregor is an elite fighter. Win or lose on Saturday, he's still an elite fighter. He could get knocked out after 10 seconds, and he's still an elite fighter.
Exactly, because Aldo's one of the greatest fighters to ever live.
Yeah. If Aldo wins, like, it's no fucking shame losing to Jose Aldo. For me, I think McGregor has the perfect style to beat Aldo's style. And that's why I'm picking him. Like, he's bigger than Aldo. Aldo is a guy who cuts an awful lot of weight as well. Remember in the past, that video came out of him, he was dying cutting the weight. He's a big guy in that weight. Kind of a bit like Vladimir Klitschko.
But he looks so small compared to Conor. Yeah, so that makes you think, how hard is Conor's weight cut?
Exactly. And we must talk about that actually in a minute. But he's a guy who's used to fighting smaller guys. As McGregor said, he's used to fighting wrestlers who come at him from halfway across the cage trying to take him down. Like, when has he ever fought anyone like Conor McGregor? No. Mendes is not like McGregor. Florian is not like McGregor. Who else? Korean Zombie fought just terribly badly against Aldo. Nobody like, and you could say the same for McGregor, but Aldo has more of a normal style, than McGregor has. It's very hard to prepare for McGregor. I know they brought in Billerino and stuff, but that's not going to prepare you for him. What I think is going to win him the fight, I think, as I mentioned earlier, he's going to get Aldo out of his game, and that's what he needs to do. I think, as you said, you want it to be a war. I think you're going to get that. I think it's going to be a war of attrition, and I think it's going to be who can hit the most with the best power. And I think McGregor hits people more than anyone else in the division, and I think he's the most powerful person in the division. So how can you pick against him? I honestly can't get. I think he's going to finish him in the third round. It's going to be Aldo's going to be bleeding like he bled against Chad Mendes. He's going to catch a lot of left hands, and McGregor shots are going to tally up, and he's going to finish him in the third round.
How cool is the new Mac Mansion?
I haven't seen it. I saw one tiny bit of it on the embedded. But
get onto his Facebook page there while I'm talking and look at the picture. It has 34,000 likes.
Jesus.
And it has a couple of thousand retweets on Twitter as well. He just one final thing on the fight. Yeah. You touched on it there. Win or lose for Conor McGregor, his star is only rising. I don't think there's going to be, in my opinion, I don't see the Irish fans turning on Conor if he loses this weekend. I don't see there being such a reaction similar to Rousey. I think that Conor has Rousey's appeal was her attitude, but Conor has the humor. Do you know that sort of way? Conor has the fact that he makes everybody laugh in his corner as well. If you're talking about worst case scenario, if Conor loses and then, is it going to be Rousey 2.0? I don't think it's going to be anything like that at all. I can see it being the complete opposite. Conor comes back, just becomes a maniac with his training, even more so. And then who knows what's next for him. Like, as you said, losing to someone like Jose Aldo isn't the worst thing in the world. Do you know what I mean? He's one of the greatest fighters to have ever lived. But this just shows what Conor is potentially capable of. If Jose Aldo is considered one of the greatest fighters ever in the UFC, easily one of the top pound-for-pound guys, although I think the UFC are kind of sticking to that drum in order to sell, first of all, to sell this fight, second of all, because Anderson went away, GSP went away, and John Jones had his own sort of issues. So by default, it was either going to be Demetrius Johnson or Jose Aldo as pound-for-pound best. I can see, like, just look at it this way. What will Conor McGregor become if he beats Jose Aldo? Do you know what I mean? That gives us a glimpse into the future. Like, as Conor keeps stating, he is only 27 years old. He's very, very young. His end goal, his aspirations is for one fight to bring in 500 million in revenue. He wants to get $500 million in revenue across all platforms. And judging from what he's done so far in the UFC, you have to consider that he was injured for 11 of those months as well, since he signed in 2013. Look where he is now. Like, this guy is the absolute limit for Conor McGregor. We saw how he's revitalised the sport in Ireland. Not revitalised, vitalised the sport in Ireland. Got it into the mainstream, got it into people's publics, into the heads. America's next for him to crack America, and I think...
He's already done that, really.
Exactly. So how much further can he go? Like, I can see Conor putting on an emphatic performance this weekend, and from there, I don't know, probably have to pay to talk to him.
Yeah, probably. Just the last thing on that, I think McGregor will get loads of hate if he loses, without a shadow of a doubt. But as you said there, it's different to Rousey. Like, the thing about Rousey is when she lost to Betch Correa, she went over and she said, "Don't cry." When she lost to when she beat Betch, and when she beat Misha Tate, she refused to shake her hand, and she kept it up. When McGregor beats people, like, he held Chad Mendes' hand up, like he said good things about. I know that changed since, but said good things about Poirier, everyone, And I think that's the difference. He's humble after a lot of his fights. He obviously isn't that way before him, and we all know. But I think the difference is people recognize he's selling the fight, and I don't like Ronda Rousey isn't doing that so much. Maybe a little bit with Holly Holm, but I just I can't wait for the fight. Can't wait. Did you give a prediction what round?
Fuck it. Conor will submit Aldo in the second round.
Really?
Yeah,
Dave,
he's gonna cripple him with strikes, follow him to the ground. Aldo will leave his neck there. Guillotine.
I like it.
That would be the ultimate tribute to John Kavanagh and SVG.
A guillotine, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see his fight he posted there on Facebook today?
Yeah, that was very cool.
Limerick.
Was it in Limerick?
I think so, yeah. He posted PT's article about the first fight in Limerick with it, so I presume it was. Yeah, so it was pretty cool.
There you go.
Right.
Right, so that's it. UFC 194. Nothing else to talk about. Pretty shit undercard. Everyone's here for McGregor versus Aldo.
Yeah, who cares about the rest of it, yeah. Luke Rockhold and Chris Weidman, though. Who? I remember you told us to pick, but I can't remember. Who'd you say? Who are you picking?
I don't know what I said the last time, but I do think Luke Rockhold is going to win. I've been a fan. Like I can see it happening from. You know, like Chris Weidman is a fighter who has solved every puzzle. John just one last, like this kind of links into the 2 points. John has spoken, I think it was with Ariel, about how Conor can figure people out in the cage. Are you taking a picture of me?
Yeah. Fine.
Conor figures people out, so that it might take Conor around and he'll figure it out how to do and how he should be fighting and then how to beat the person. You could put him in against different people and he'd be able to do that. Chris Weidman, I think, has that same sort of ability. He can read fighters very well. He can analyze them very well. Just from being in there with them, he can kind of set up his game plan for the second, third, and fourth round of how he's going to be able to counter them. Whether it's due to his good cornerman, whether it's due to his fight IQ, I think Chris Weidman will be able to figure out Luke Rockhold, but I think Luke Rockhold will be too good for Chris Weidman in what he wants to do. If I'm Luke Rockhold and I want to beat Chris Weidman, I actually think his advantage is going to be trying to like make it a dirty fight, try to wrestle, fuck him, try to get him down and be able to beat him that way. And I do see Luke Rockhold beating Chris Weidman in that manner.
I think Luke Rockhold's best chance in all his fights, he does it. It's his counter right hand and then a big left hand shot. So his counter right hook, and a big left hand shot after it. And I think against Weidman, he's fought Anderson Silva twice, and he demolished him the second time, especially. I know it ended badly, but he was demolishing him. And the first time, he didn't really eat that many shots. He didn't get knocked out of him. And like a counter puncher who likes to kind of pot shot counter you, nobody's as good as Anderson Silva. And Luke Rockhold is not as good as Anderson Silva at doing that. So if Anderson Silva didn't do it or didn't have any success at doing it, I don't know. I just can't see Luke Rockhold doing it. Now, Luke Rockhold has other things too. He's very good submission game. He's good takedowns. I don't think he's going to take Chris Weidman down. I don't think he's going to be able to take him down. He's good straight left hand as well. And I think this fight before the Robbie Lawler and
McDonald, it flew under the radar, and this is going to do the exact same.
But I thought that wasn't going to be a good fight. And I don't think this is going to be a good fight. And I could be totally and utterly wrong as well because that fight, that fight was going to be a lot of, pawn with the front hands, kind of trying to get inside, trying to land the big shots. I think this could be a little bit the same. I think it's going to be a very even fight over 5 rounds. It's going to be nip and tuck. I think Weidman will win the early rounds. I think he'll get takedowns. And I think the longer a fight goes, as it becomes kind of a, I use the word war of attrition again, but war of attrition is not the right word.
Use it, Sean. It's a nice phrase.
Like against Jacare and stuff, I think Rockhold is very good at pulling through late on. I don't think Chris Weidman maybe as he struggled against Machida and stuff. I think Weidman will win.
Did Weidman not get hurt against Machida though?
3 rounds to 2, maybe. I actually thought Weidman could have lost that fight.
I watching it live, I thought Machida done enough to beat him.
It was a closer fight than a lot of people were saying, but. Yeah, Chris Weidman as well. The thing about him is, he's deceptively athletic. It's unbelievable. How I was watching him before. I always think of Chris Weidman as kind of like a plodding guy with kind of bad knees who kind of gets into. But watch him again. He's not. He's really fucking explosive and he's really athletic. But you can see that his knees are like all the back. His knees are fucked, and he still does it. Like if he was 100% fit, if he was able to get those knees started, he'd be just an unbelievable killer altogether. But I still think he's enough, unless he's totally crippled. Like leg kicks could be a big issue in this as well. If I was Chris Weidman, I'd be targeting those knees because they hurt him. Like if you take away another 10 or 15% of those legs, it could be huge in that fight. And I think if Rockhold looks at that and he does throw good leg kicks, I think that could be a good point, point in his favor. But how do you see it going on 5 rounds? Or do you think Rockhold will get the stoppage?
I think Rockhold will finish him, to be honest. I don't know. I just, when maybe it's a personal like for fighters that you want to see them win in a convincing way or something. I don't know. I've always been a fan of Luke Rockhold. Chris Weidman has always frustrated me when I watched him because I was like, the Anderson first fight was like, yeah, one shot. The second fight was the leg break. The Machida fight, I thought he lost. Like, I don't want to go around and discredit him because he's obviously one of the baddest fucking men on the planet. But I think this is a keep going until you prove me wrong sort of situation. I need Chris Weidman to fully crucify Luke Rockhold and leave him for dead in the ring for me to think, yeah, okay, Chris Weidman's for real. I'm not going to bet against him. Now, obviously, being very good friends with Matt Serra and Ray Longo, as you saw downstairs, I shouldn't speak so openly against Chris Weidman, but I just think that Luke Rockhold has his number. I could be completely wrong. I'd gladly be completely wrong on this, but for quite a while, or ever since, I have just wanted to see Rockhold get this shot against Weidman because I think he's the one guy that can beat him.
Yeah, I think Weidman.
But on that, I think every other guy in the division, with the exception maybe of Jacare, gets absolutely smoked by Chris Weidman. You know, that sort of way. It's kind of the holy trifecta that we were talking. Like, when I say absolutely smoked, when I say smoked, I mean Weidman could still beat him, but Jacare gives him the hardest test out of anyone.
I know. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I don't mean that he'd smoke Jacare as well.
Yeah, I think Weidman will win. I think he'll win 5 rounds. It's not going to be a good fight, I don't think. But like we spoke about it so many times before, this is either the cusp of something great for Weidman with as you say, Jacare, Yoel, and whoever else. He's beaten all the old guys now. It's time for him to beat the new guys.
Whoa! Breaking news.
Go on, please don't be something bad.
Justin Bieber has announced a Dublin date. He will play the 3 Arena on the 1st of November next year.
3 Arena? Jesus.
That's the day after my birthday, Sean.
What date is it?
The 1st of November.
Ah, Jesus. It's my father's birthday today. Happy birthday.
Is it too late now to say sorry? Are we going to sing, no?
No, I don't know the words.
Happy birthday, Papa Sheehan. Because I'm missing more than just your body. Oh, Jay Beebs. Are you there? Are you alive?
I was just closing my laptop there.
All right. As if you were like, right, fuck you. I'm done with this. Sorry about that. What great news.
Yoel and Jacare. What do you think about that fight? Who's winning that?
Jacare. I think Yoel Romero is a cheat.
No, forget Jesus.
No, my ass stuck to my stool.
That was my favorite UFC fight of all time.
Oh, it was hilarious.
I love that fight so much.
I think Jacare is going to steamroll him. I think Romero is tough enough to be able to withstand the early onslaught in the sense that Jacare will come out, try and really hurt him early on. Romero will probably try push him up against the cage and then realize how good Jacare is in those positions and have absolutely nothing for him.
I think Yoel Romero is going to win. Spoiler alert, my picks. I think Jacare is going to try to. I think there's going to be a lot of fence work in this. I think there's going to be a lot of clinching. And I think Romero is the stronger man. I think he's just an animal of a man. I think he's wrestling will win it for him. Obviously, if Jacare can get him on his back and you know, get him in a jiu-jitsu battle, that won't end well for Romero. But I think he's too strong, too good in transitions, too good a wrestler to let that happen. I could see him holding Jacare against the fence for long periods. Like, Yoel gets a bit tired as the fight goes on, but he also gets like wild when he strikes and knock guys out. I think he's like 3 third round finishes in the UFC or something like that. So he's dangerous the whole way through. I think it's going to be a decision again, and I think Romero is going to take it because of just barely nip it because of like his strength and because of that cage work. Right, a couple more fights. Just in one word: Max Holloway, Jeremy Stephens.
Holloway.
Yeah, Holloway decision, I think. Right, Gunnar Nelson, Damian Maia.
Gunnar Nelson. We spoke about it enough. I do think that the ground isn't going to come into it at all. I think Gunnar is just too good of a striker for Damian Maia's tippy-tappy kickboxing, a BJJ black belt that learned how to kickbox sort of style. And I am a huge fan of Damian Maia. I'm a fan of Damian Maia for his ground skills. I don't think his ground skills are better to the point that he would be able to control Gunnar and submit him. I think Gunnar would be, even though we haven't seen it, is a very good defensive grappler in those situations. From his ADCC matches that he's lost that I've watched, his grappling is absolutely brilliant. He and even now we saw the reignited, improved Gunnar Nelson against Brandon Thatch. He even spoke openly in the interview that I did with him about a finish, that is what he wants. So I can honestly see him, I don't want to say lighting Damian Maia up on the feet, but I can see him really just clearly winning the striking battle. And whether he is able to finish Maia or not is another thing. Maia has taken quite a lot of, I don't want to say damage over the years. He is quite durable, but Gunnar Nelson, for me, takes this fight.
Yeah, I think Gunnar Nelson's going to finish him on the feet, to be honest. As you say, if it goes to the ground, I think it'll even itself out. There'll be a couple of transitions maybe, and then it'll get back up. These guys, they're both too good, to get held down or to get dominated. I don't see it being one on the ground. I think it'll be one on the feet, and I think Gunnar Nelson is way better there. As you said, Maia is durable, and I could see it going to decision, but I just have a feeling Maia might be the fight where Maia gets old, and Gunnar Nelson is the guy coming up, and he's just going to take him out. And Gunnar Nelson as well is one of those guys that one loss makes him look worse than he actually is. Like, he's not on the feet, especially. He's a lot better of a fighter on the feet than that Rick Story fight showed. Kind of like McGregor on the ground. I think he's a lot better on the ground than the Mendes fight showed. So yeah, I think could be another Brandon Hatch. I think you could hurt him and maybe submit him on the ground even when he's hurt, or just a straight finish. But it's going to be a good fight anyway. Right. A couple of words on the Sage and Page card.
Well, first of all, can we just say commiserations to Cody Pfister, who's been cut from the UFC, regardless of whether he wins or not this weekend.
Why? What happened?
Did you not see what he said today at the open workouts?
No, what is that?
Let me get these quotes up for you now. Cody Pfister says, Sage Northcutt is Dana White's new lapdog, but when he loses, they'll kick him to the curb.
He won't get cut for that. Cody Pfister has been brilliant on those embeddeds, though. He gassed.
Look, Cody Pfister. Well, Kieran Malone put up a great thing on Facebook. Said Sage Northcutt and Cody Pfister must have the combined lowest IQ of two UFC fighters to ever compete against each other. What are you shaking your head at?
Don't say that about my boy Sage. Sage is an intelligent, brilliant man who's going to win. Sage Northcutt is going to win right on Saturday, and then he needs to fight Nate Diaz.
Oh, yes, sir.
Give him Nate Diaz. Give him Nate Diaz. I want to see that fight. Imagine the build-up to that fight. Imagine a smack talk between Nate Diaz and Sage Northcutt.
Sage wouldn't know how to smack talk back. He would just be like, he would just literally look like a deer in the headlights. First things first. Sage Northcutt's dad looks like Jeremy Botter.
Botter won't be happy with that. They're from the same town as well.
Exactly. So we're just getting that out of the way. Second of all, his dad is an absolute crook. Okay, we've seen when I first read
allegedly.
This, I'm pretty sure there's no allegedly about it.
No, it's allegedly.
Okay, allegedly his dad's a crook.
Yeah.
When I read the transcripts that came out, I thought it was Dana White that they were talking about in it because it was just named as the person's last name. The other guy's last name was White as well. So it was like, White arrives at a hotel with a bag full of cocaine, and I'm just like, what the fuck has happened here? What have I missed? But Cody Pfister, you look at his record and his opponent, it's like me talking about Paul Craig that time. His opponent's records, if you combine it, turns into a losing record. Where if you did that with my opponent's records, they would have a big winning record. So it's a lot of overhype. It's cool. It works. He's young. I guess he's Dana's new boy. He's his lapdog for the moment. I'm sure he'll kick him to the curb after that. After I put him down, they're going to throw him to the shit like they do with everyone else. So it is what it is. First of all, can I just say, it is what it is now a massive phrase in MMA thanks to Conor McGregor. I'd say Greg Savage and TJ DeSantis said it about 50 times this week on Cheap Seats. It was ridiculous.
Dana White has been saying that for fucking ages.
It is what it is, Sean. It is what it is.
I think Sage is anyways going to fucking run through this guy, and there's no stopping Sage. Sage is the incumbent UFC lightweight champion. Himself and Habib. I hope they never fight because it'd be like picking against my children or something.
Your first and second born.
Exactly. I couldn't do it. Paige. We're both on record. I think we're saying Paige is going to lose this fight. Do you think?
Yes.
Do you think they're going to kick her to the curb like they did, like Cody Pfister is saying if she loses, or do you think? What do you think is going to happen? Are they going to stick with her?
I think the UFC, the best possible thing for Paige Van Zandt is to lose this fight at the weekend while it's early in her career. Don't lose your next fight when you're one fight away from a title fight. Don't win your next fight and then have to be put in against Joanna Jędrzejczyk at your current level. Paige is an absolute star in the making, marketable. The UFC are fairly keen on her. The fact that she is aesthetically pleasing does not help her cause in any shape or form. But I still go back to the time that she had to ask one of the guys in Team Alpha Male how to transition to an armbar from a triangle. Do you know that sort of way? There is that level in her game that she is just, it hasn't been exposed yet due to maybe the level of opposition, her opponents bottling it when it comes to big game situations. I don't think Rose is going to bottle it. I think Rose is just going to come straight out. She won't be phased by Paige. I can see her just standing there, being willing to put it back up to her. I think she submits her if it goes down to the ground pretty easily. And even then on the feet, it's not as clear cut, one sided. Like, oh, Paige Van Zandt is good striking. I think this is Namajunas' fight to lose.
Yeah, I don't think Paige Van Zandt can win a fight without putting someone against the fence and taking them down. And if she does that against Rose Namajunas, she's going to get submitted. I can't see this fight in any other way than a submission for Rose Namajunas. I honestly can't. She's 10-1 to win by submission in the first round. That's madness. I think. I really think it's going to end up like that. It should be a good fight, though. I'm looking forward to it.
No, I think despite I don't want to say despite her shortcomings because we can only go off what we've seen and what we've heard. Despite all of the stuff that we say about her previous fights have been quite entertaining. I thought the fight, her last fight against. Don't even tell me her name because she's sponsored by Alienware. She's nuts. She's blonde. She is. Give me the first letter.
F.
Felice Herrig.
Yeah.
That was a pretty entertaining fight, if only for the clumsical grappling exchanges that the two of them had on the ground, like losing transition after transition, and the back has been there for the last 2 minutes. Or one of you's going to take it. No, I'll just throw hammer fists instead. Her fights have always been entertaining. I can see this being a very entertaining fight as well. The thing that I'm most looking forward to is in the fact that it's going to be in a venue with only 2,000 people.
I like the way you made up a word there as well. Clumsical.
What? Clumsical is definitely not a made-up word.
It's a fucking great word.
Thank you.
It's
also, final on the Cody Pfister thing. His opponent took the fight on short notice, came in overweight. The dude failed his drug test. How serious were you about being in this fight? This shit's not going to happen to me. To give me full 8 weeks, I'm going to come in there prepared, ready to fucking kill. Man, fuck this shit. I'm just ready to go fucking smash. I'm ready. It's just, I'm crazy. And he's not going to be able to handle it.
Legend.
Cody Pfister riding the hype train. Don't get me wrong. I still think Cody Pfister loses this fight. But I don't think Sage is all you're making him out to be.
Sage, leave my boy Sage alone. The last fight, we'll answer maybe 2 or 3 questions before we got Frankie against Chad. I love this fight. I'm getting more pumped for this fight than like all of the other underdog kind of fights. I have to be honest.
Combined.
This is going to be a great fucking fight. I think.
Well, that's it. Thanks very much. You're not going to hear any different from me. This fight is probably my second most anticipated fight of the whole weekend. It's the fight that we've wanted to see for a while. I think Conor is completely right when he talks about, depending on who looks what this weekend, we could see the future of the 145, Conor's future at 145 pounds evaporate in front of our eyes. Chad Mendes beats Frankie Edgar. Conor has every right to say to Chad Mendes and just stroll on up to 155 and look for the title unification bout. If Frankie Edgar beats Chad Mendes, Conor stays at 145 for another fight. If Max Holloway goes out and wrecks Jeremy Stephens, if Jeremy Stephens goes out and wrecks Max Holloway, so many situations that could happen that leaves Conor at 145. To be honest, just to answer the question, I want to see Conor fight the answer, huh? Oh, there you go.
Oh, I like it.
I do. Conor and Edgar has been a fight that I wanted to see for a while. A point that I forgot to make all the way back when you're talking about Aldo that I will now. A UFC representative, okay, said to me in Sweden after Conor's first fight about how Aldo had been bringing in a load of wrestlers 6 months from before the Mendes camp, that his wrestling was going to be like no wrestler would ever beat Jose Aldo at 145. The only type of person that could beat Aldo at 145 is an orthodox striker like Conor. And this was back in April 2013. And I think that is what's going to come to fruition at the weekend. If we're looking at...
Hello? Oh no, your Wi-Fi's not gone, is it? Oh, you're back. Hello?
Sean,
Yeah, I can hear you.
Did you not hear?
I can hear you now, kind of.
Hello?
Hello?
Me. I've been wondering if it's time.
You're here now, you're back.
Okay, so hopefully people still heard that. I just don't have to explain it to you again. Frankie Edgar versus Chad Mendes.
Who's going to win?
Frankie Edgar.
Chad Mendes is going to knock him out in the first round.
What?
Yeah, Chad Mendes is definitely going to knock him out.
Do you think it's because Frankie Edgar can't take a punch and Mendes has too much power?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, obviously, Edgar can take a punch. He can't be finished by a single punch, is what I mean.
I think he can. I think he will be. I don't think he's ever hit as hard a hitter as Chad Mendes. Like Graham Maynard nearly knocked him out. I know Aldo hit him a fair bit, and Aldo's a big puncher. But I don't think Aldo's as big a puncher as Mendes. And I think if Mendes cracks him right, he'll go down and he won't be getting back up. So that's what I think. Right, a couple of questions before this fucking thing goes out on us. We've been doing well now. Who is your best underdog pick from the week from at JF Murphy 6?
Is Rose Namajunas a betting underdog?
Yeah.
Then Rose Namajunas.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I can't give her now because you've given her, so I'll go with Gunnar Nelson. I think Gunnar Nelson.
Is he an underdog against Maia as well?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
We got a couple of good ones, didn't we?
Anthony Smith asked, do you think, we've talked about it a bit, do you think McGregor's gone a little bit overboard with the IDO thing, and Shane Walsh, as you alluded to there, he's talking about the Steven Seagal kind of job. Just, look, I think it's just a kind of a cool thing for Conor McGregor more than anything else, to be honest. I don't think, I don't think this is fucking... Edmund Darver. I don't think he's giving him Edmund Darvardian coaching tips or anything like that now.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What?
Did you just put something on your face or something?
No, I'm sending you a message. I honestly think that I don't think it's overdone at all. I just think that I don't care if I'm drinking the Kool-Aid here or anything like that, but Conor is just that step ahead of the game. Like, you're going to see so many more fighters doing stuff like this in the next while. You already see fighters doing stuff like this. Conor's just gone straight to the source that he thinks will improve his movement game the most. I'm really, really interested more than anything in seeing the close range combat of Conor and Aldo this weekend. I think that it's going to be very interesting, maybe to even see how good Conor is at evading damage and how much he's worked on it for this preparation for this fight.
Yeah. Last question. Shane Guinan asks, if McGregor wins, who will be next? And if he loses, who will be next?
If McGregor wins and Frankie Edgar wins, I think the two of them will be matched up. Otherwise, let him go up at 155. Why not? Just the UFC have spoken about super fights for so long. Do you know what I mean? Lorenzo Fertitta's tweets that are still haunting them to this day about boxing losing their super fights. And then St. Pierre never fought Silva at a catch weight of 100 and whatever pounds. Anderson Silva never got to fight George St. Pierre. All the ones that they spoke about. Why not capitalize and make your first ever genuine, legit super fight? Think of the markability. Think of what Conor can go on to achieve if he can effectively become a two-weight, the first ever consecutive two-weight division holder in the UFC, belt holder in the UFC.
Do you think there's any chance Aldo gets a rematch if McGregor beats him?
Depends on what way it goes, to be honest. I can see... do you know what? I genuinely, that has not even come into my head. What do you think?
Like, he's been a champion for long enough. Unless, like, there's rumors of him retiring, which I don't know, that could happen as well. But, like, I think he probably warrants a rematch. If he was fighting anyone else and he lost, I think he'd deserve a rematch. So why should McGregor be any different? Like, Aldo likes to take a lot of time out between fights, so maybe McGregor will want to get another fight in. Like, there's no easy. He's not going to get like a warm-up fight or anything. It's going to be Frankie Edgar probably.
4 months, yeah? The whole roster in 4 months.
This media shit. If he loses, who do you think?
If he loses,
Joe Duffy, I think.
At 155. Do you think Do you think if he loses, he doesn't stay at 145 and tries to get the belt again?
If he loses, I think they'll talk about the weight cut being too much and that he wants to move up.
I don't think it'll be Duffy. It'll be, well, depending, maybe the winner is Duffy and Poirier.
Or Cerrone, maybe, if he loses.
There are a lot of or Diaz. There's a lot of good matches
Duffy
to welcome.
And Park, maybe.
Duffy and Crow Park. Who are you and what have you done with Sean Sheehan?
Yeah, Crow Park's not happening. No, just talking shit.
Let me just look here. What fight would you fly to America to see live, Sean?
Oh, yeah, fucking none. Like, this is the best fight week of all time, so like none.
I'll tell you. This one.
This one, yeah.
And then you got it. You got the rest of them, did you? Who wins the battle of the next Ronda Rousey's? The previous Ronda Rousey? What?
That's a Paige Van Zandt, Rosalind Eunice question.
Then yeah, you got pretty much all the good questions. Keith Regan, no. Paige Van Zandt has not fallen for me yet, but that's only because I haven't seen her yet. So, oh, wait a minute. Is she going out with Andrea Feely now?
That's what I thought as well. She kind of gave him a peck on the cheek. Like, at the end.
I don't know if it was so much of a peck. I think he gave her the hug at the airport, and she seemed a little bit like, oh, you just did that in front of the UFC cameras.
I noticed that too, yeah.
Did you notice that, you wee cat, did you?
She's making herself through that camp, I'm telling you.
Now, Sean, come on.
Cody No-Name was the first. You know, didn't, you know.
Allegedly.
No, that's definitely true.
Allegedly, okay.
And allegedly Andrea Feely as well.
Sure, look. Have we nothing else to do than to gossip about fucking Paige Van Zandt?
Oh, fuck, we can't edit out now. Shit.
Also, a special shout out. Unfortunately, sacrifices are made. I'm missing my mother's birthday.
When's her birthday today?
Friday.
And
Jim
Mary.
Jim Daw wanted me to do a video message for all of the fighters from my man. I said absolutely not. No. But I have to admit, if I can take a second to finish before you have you better have an inspirational quote.
I fucking don't. But go on.
You get Googling.
Take a second there. Take a second.
Take a minute. We're here in Vegas. There's going to be unbelievable coverage on the website throughout the weekend. Throughout the week, it is going to be one of the hardest weeks of work ever. And for me to be able to do this at 23 is brilliant. But I will gladly admit, I wasn't supposed to be here up until 2 weeks ago. Everything fucked up. Everything went wrong. I wasn't going to be able to go to Vegas. And
Really? Why? I didn't hear that.
A massive. Like, I am very, very lucky to be able to do this. But I'm even luckier that I have fucking my mom and dad were able to bail me out and send me to Vegas. And they're like, you've come too far not to do this. They very selflessly give me the money to go over on the flight, and the accommodation was cheap enough. I had saved up a little bit of money for that. So I have never felt as embarrassed or humiliated at having to take the money. But at the end of the day, my mom and dad don't listen to the podcast, but I have to admit that I love them very much. And thank you very much for doing this for me. And Sean, stop shaking your head because I'm trying to be nice here.
They're only short pricks, like.
They give birth to you, so they're obviously bastards.
They give birth to you, yeah, exactly. And thanks to everyone, yeah. Everyone, if you're looking at an embedded this week, go over to SevereMMA and look at it rather than going to YouTube. Or, that'll help us out. Do that. Give my articles. I wrote 2 brilliant articles already. There's 3 more coming.
I am going to follow the embedded crew around.
Yeah, with a SevereMMA sign.
I don't even. Wait.
Oh, your thing. Where is it? Oh, yeah. The debut right here on the podcast. Hi, this is Sean Sheehan here, bringing you through while Andrew's getting his thing. Wait till you see this. This is the best thing. Oh, it's upside down.
Oh.
Sweet. Let me see the top of it there on the bottom of it. That is sweet.
Andrew McGann here for SevereMMA.
That's next level shit, that is.
Isn't it? This is
5 years coming, that's all.
This is 3 years ago level sort of shit. This is what we should have been doing, Sean.
Nice, isn't it? It's good.
So, if you want to get in touch with us over the next couple of days to tell us how great our content is and has been and continues to be, then send us a tweet at SevereMMA pod, at SevereMMA. I got a tweet today. This fella's been listening to the podcast for months and only got around to following us today. At Pete Carroll, at Dave Fogarty, whatever the fuck, at Sean Sheehan BA, at Andrew McGahon _. And most importantly, as we say, thank you for every single listen and view and like and whatever that you give us. Once we figure out a way to convert Facebook likes and listens into money, we will be ultra happy and we will let you know how that goes. But until then, I believe Sean Sheehan has a quote to finish off the show. Look me in the eye when you're saying it.
I can't because I'm reading it off of my other screen, so I can't see it. The greatest... Okay, I can look you in the eye, actually, because I can look straight into this thing. The greatest pleasure in life is doing what people say you cannot do. See you next week.